A LaSalle alum is elected into office in Philadelphia while the city is preparing for the upcoming holiday season. Hello, I'm Steve Graham.
And I'm Corey Meredith. LaSalle's Communications Center hosted its Night of the Shining Star event this past weekend, and students on campus were busy donating blood. We have all of this and more coming up on LTV News, where the action never stops.
Hello and welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything LaSalle, Philadelphia, and the world. Happy Veterans Day to all of our vets across the country and those currently fighting overseas.
There is plenty coming your way today as Madison Elliott sits down with LaSalle student and political analyst Michael Cooney to discuss Philadelphia's recent election results. But first, let's see what's happening at LaSalle. There are plenty of philanthropic organizations and nonprofits around Philadelphia, but one student group at LaSalle really goes above and beyond for giving. Sigma Phi Lambda, a local fraternity at LaSalle, creates monumental impact with their Sig 5K. This run benefits LaSalle Academy, a financially underprivileged school located near LaSalle University in North Philadelphia. It is the run's 5th year, and it is held on LaSalle University's campus. This year, Sigma Phi Lambda raised $20,000 for the school, an incredible feat for one fraternity. When asked about this charitable event, the men of Sigma Phi Lambda are most proud of creating the biggest philanthropic event at LaSalle.
Another large fundraising event took place on campus this past week. On Tuesday, November 3rd and Wednesday, November 4th, students could sign up to donate blood right here on campus. The Fall Blood Drive was sponsored by the Health Advisory Committee, and LTV News reporter Bailey Henderson took the opportunity to check it out. Let's take a look.
Henderson at the LaSalle University Annual Blood Drive administered by the Red Cross. As you can see, the staff is working diligently to collect blood from the many LaSalle students that come in each year. Do you want to let me know how you got involved in the blood drive this year?
The AED had slots open, and I thought it'd be good to help out because I can't donate blood. So,
my fraternity, along with the other guys that I'm here with today, Delta Sigma Phi, our philanthropy is American Red Cross, so we felt like it was necessary to come out and volunteer for the day. And for yesterday, and just help out around the community.
I donated blood once in high school, and I think it's a really cool thing to do. You know, it's pretty easy, so why not? If I'm going to save lives, I may as well do it. Each blood donation can save up to 3 lives, so if you get the chance, get out there and donate.
From LTV News, I'm Bailey Henderson.
With the holiday season right around the corner, we are curious as to what our fellow explorers have in mind for their holiday break. LTV News reporters Callie Montana and Kirsten McDonald took to LaSalle's campus to see what students said. Let's check it out.
Hello, I'm Callie Montana here for LTV News, and today Kirsten McDonald and I interviewed some students about their favorite Thanksgiving tradition. Let's check it out.
I'm really thankful for this life I have. I see a lot of people who don't have the life. You know, some people have less than me, and sometimes I feel like we're not thankful enough for the life we do have. So I feel like I'm very thankful for the life I do live right now.
I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my Catholic education. Thankful that I get to attend LaSalle University.
I'm thankful for my family, my brothers and sisters, my mom, dad, step-parents also, basically my whole family.
I'm really thankful for my friend Jen. If it weren't for her, I probably wouldn't be here right now. First semester of last year was pretty rough, but she really got me through it.
Favorite Thanksgiving tradition is getting my whole family just around the table and meeting up again because we don't get to do it too often throughout the year.
I would make a shopping list and kick everyone out of the kitchen to cook.
What is your favorite food to eat during Thanksgiving?
I like pie, apple and pumpkin mostly.
My favorite thing to eat at Thanksgiving is mashed potatoes and gravy.
Mashed potatoes are always great. Besides indulging in some delicious food, what do you do on Thanksgiving to celebrate with your family?
Usually I just try to spend time with my family, and sometimes we watch the Eagles game if there's one on.
What was your most memorable Thanksgiving and why?
I think it was when I was in 5th grade. I dressed up as a pilgrim, and we all did this like reenactment on the table and stuff like that of the first Thanksgiving, and it was really funny.
Do you have any fun or quirky memories from Thanksgiving throughout the years?
Well, one year when I was younger, we were all at my aunt and uncle's house, and we went into the kitchen, and their dog had eaten the whole cake.
So yeah, it kind of got a little dramatic. But it was good overall. The dog was okay.
Hi, Beckett. How do you give back to celebrate Thanksgiving?
Hi, Kirsten. I give back by reevaluating my privilege, making sure that what I have I'm very thankful for, even the very fundamental things. You never know what to be thankful for. You can't take anything for granted.
LaSalle's very own communication department hosted the Night of Shining Stars event on November 6th to recognize some distinguished alumni currently working in the field. The event was held at the Franklin Institute, and 3 outstanding alumni received the Shining Star Award. Madison, Corey, and myself were all lucky enough to attend the event, talk with each Shining Star and some professors, and even Sidney McLeod, the legend. Take a look.
The LaSalle 2015 Night of Shining Stars took place on Friday, November 6th. Happening only once every 2 years, 3 outstanding LaSalle alums were honored for their work in their fields. The night was held at the Franklin Institute, and there was dinner, dancing, raffles, and music, all with Ben Franklin watching above us. Brian Lynch introduced the first honoree of the night, Judge Mark Coulson, District Judge of Maryland.
But that was okay because my communications department professors have provided me with a toolbox that was very well matched for the world of work. How to write persuasively and engagingly, how to interview people and to gather pertinent facts, how to make dry topics interesting, how to use layout, color, and artwork to convey a message, how to emphasize with blocking and lighting and directing, how to find at least one thing about almost anything that almost everyone could agree on. Why word choice and story structure and pacing were important, how to make dialogue sound natural. And when I pivoted from advertising to law to becoming a trial lawyer, every one of those things served me well in building my case, packaging it for the jury.
Judge Coulson expressed how excited he was to be a recipient of this prestigious
Oh, it's terrific. I mean, I'm kind of the boring guy on that panel, but, you know, I'll try to hold my own. Maybe they'll let me go. I don't know if it's better to go last or first. Maybe first. And then if I get shown up, people will forget about it.
The next honoree of the night was Mike Garofalo, who was introduced by LaSalle alum and award-winning journalist at the Philadelphia Inquirer, Mike Zielski. Mike Garofalo expressed how LaSalle's open-door policy really prepared him for his job as an NFL insider at Fox Sports.
Open-door policy, like I like to call it, from the faculty that I sensed immediately was exactly what I wanted and exactly what we got for 4 years. You guys did a tremendous job, and the fact that you're all still here and you're all still doing that hard work, and these kids are so eager. I saw it today. It's really incredible.
And what else was incredible? How Mike was feeling after receiving this award amongst so many of his friends.
And how many, just in this market alone, are killing it. You know, Mike Zielski, David Murphy, all these people, and they're doing such great things. So to be honored on a night like this amongst all those people, amongst my peers like that, I mean, it means a ton. It means the world. Very humbling.
Mike continued to explain how the professors at LaSalle made all the difference in his education.
Professors, no, this department, and you talk about the professors, I mean, the lack of a rollover in the staff from the time that I was there tells you how important it is for them to be here, how much they love the place, the camaraderie between them, which was an important thing for me when I was deciding on a school. I could feel that right away, the way the faculty, the way the professors work together and so cohesive and that kind of stuff. So the fact that they're here, still together, still working to making this a great department, doesn't surprise me at all.
The last recipient of the night was Meg Kane, who was introduced by one of her dear friends.
I am ever grateful to LaSalle and to the university, to the communications department, and I want to take this one moment to say a couple things about that. I want to thank Dr. Luke Texter, I want to thank Dr. Mary Ann Dayton. I want to thank all of the extraordinary professors that I had.
Meg was extremely honored to receive this award.
It's incredibly humbling and incredibly overwhelming. I can remember being a student in 1999 to 2003, and this was an award that was just becoming established at LaSalle. So it's a real honor to be included, especially with Judge Colson and Mike Garofalo, who do such incredible communications work on a day in and day out basis. So I'm thrilled and I'm delighted and very excited to be here tonight and to share this with everyone at LaSalle.
Meg received the award because of her integral part in planning Pope Francis' visit to Philadelphia with her position at Bryan Com, and this is something she said was a very rewarding experience.
Also overwhelming and incredibly humbling to work for the World Meeting of Families and Pope Francis' visit to Philadelphia. I mean, what an extraordinary moment for our city to have 1 million people come to the Parkway and to be part of history. And for me to play just a small role in that, in helping to plan it and to execute such an important event for the city of Philadelphia, the Archdiocese, and really for the entire community, regardless of faith tradition. I'm just incredibly proud of the work that our agency, Bryan Communications, did, and we are so proud to have been part of making that history.
At this event was recently retired Professor Sid McLeod, who helped start the communication department and also helped mold these honorees when they were students.
It's great to see the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, Meg, Sid.
Until the next Shining Stars event, for LTV News, I'm reporter Madison Elliott.
It's time for our first commercial break, but when we come back, we'll bring you everything Philly. Stay tuned.
For my next classes.
%31% of female victims stalked by an intimate partner were sexually assaulted by that partner. For more help, visit www.victimsofcrime.org.
Welcome back to LTV News. Not only are students preparing for the upcoming holiday season, but so is the city of Philadelphia. As the cool weather is moving in, people all across Philadelphia are preparing for the holiday season. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and Christmas is right after that. That means that the City of Brotherly Love is going to have all sorts of events, from the oldest Thanksgiving parade in history to 3 different beer festivals. We can't forget the Philadelphia Marathon coming up too. Philadelphia has endless amounts of fun activities going on throughout the holiday season. Let's not forget the cold weather is approaching, so get out your winter jackets and maybe some ice skates too, because the ice rink at Dilworth opens on November 13th. Right after that, we have the annual German-style Christmas Village being set up at Love Park at the end of November. Some might say a Christmas shopper's paradise. Well, it is clear to say that Philly is jam-packed with fun events that both friends and families can enjoy. So get out there and check them out. And if you want to find out more events that are happening around the city, head to visitphilly.com.
The Manayunk Bridge has reopened after being closed for 30 years. The only difference is now a train will not be going over it. The bridge that connected Lower Merion to Philadelphia has been converted with concrete pavement so that it can be used as a trail for all pedestrians and bikers. This trail will connect with other trails in the area, like the Heritage Trail. Mayor Michael Nutter and Lower Merion Board President Liz Rogan were both very excited to be able to use that almost forgotten bridge for something positive for the people in the community. Both Nutter and Rogan cut the ribbon at the official reopening of the Manayunk Bridge.
The city of Brotherly Love has just named has just been named the United States' first World Heritage City, putting it on par with 260 other cities who share this same prestigious title. The Organization of World Heritage Cities voted Philadelphia in on Friday, November 6th at their conference in Peru. Independence Hall is already considered a World Heritage Site, so this aided Philly in becoming a heritage city. The campaigning for the recognition began 3 years ago by the suggestion of then UPenn professor Richard Hodges. Philly represents an evolving economic and educational hub, and this title will help Philly's presence grow as a major and important city in the United States and around the world.
LaSalle alum Jim Kenney was elected the 99th mayor of Philadelphia last week in Pennsylvania's general election. Mayor-elect Jim Kenney passed Republican nominee Melissa Murray Bailey, collecting 85% of the vote. Kenney now becomes Philadelphia's 10th consecutive Democratic mayor since 1960. Mayor-elect Kenney, a 23-year vet of city council, based his campaign on universal pre-K for all 4-year-olds in the city, stopping police stop and frisk programs, and bringing more tech jobs to the city. In addition to Major, 4 new members were added to the Philadelphia City Council around the Commonwealth. 3 Democrats were elected to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, giving Democrats the majority 5-2.
Well, that just about does it for Philly news, but before we jump into the world, Madison Elliott sits down with our political analyst, Michael Cooney, to discuss Jim Kenney and the recent Philadelphia election. Take it away, Madison.
Hello, I'm reporter Madison Elliott, and today I'm sitting down with our political correspondent, Mike Cooney. So, Mike, thank you very much for being with us today.
Glad to be here.
So, Philly just elected a new mayor, Jim Kenney, who's also a LaSalle graduate. So, what are your thoughts on him being elected?
I think it's great for the city. We have a Philadelphian who, came up from nothing, union family. He's great support from the unions. It would just be interesting to see how it goes going forward. Obviously, LaSalle has a pretty good political science program, a lot of knowledgeable people, so I've no doubt that he's not capable of doing the job. He's been in city council for 6 terms, so he's definitely experienced enough to where he can kind of work his way around and fix problems, or change up things that maybe another person wouldn't, because his candidate had no political experience whatsoever. So I think that's the big thing. The experience basically helps him out in a great way.
So he is really trying to tackle a lot of things coming into his term. One of the biggest things being education, which has been a big problem for Philadelphia. He's looking at funding a $60 million plan to make universal pre-K. He wants to change the core of education in Philadelphia. Why don't we talk a little bit about that and what he's planning to do?
Okay, I think that it's hard for him to do that without state support. And the problem right now is that we have a governor and a legislature that are on different sides. We have a very liberal governor and we have a very conservative legislature. He's going to have to be able to create a very good bond with the legislature in order to get more money. And plus, once the budget's passed, that's a hard thing to do. So it's all about creating relationships, because other than that, getting money from the state is very hard. He's going to have to try and increase test scores. That's the #1 thing. Also, it's mainly about tax reform. There's not enough taxes going to the schools, and that's the biggest problem in the city. So it's how do we increase the taxes, and so that everybody can pay it, because we're a very low-income city, and what is appropriate.
And he is looking at reforming the taxes, so more of the tax money is given to the school systems. I don't know where that would be taken away from, but how does, we haven't even had a budget for what, 5 months or so now?
Yeah, it's coming on 200 days.
Okay.
So, and that's a big problem.
Right.
So he can't get any support from the state at this time. That's a major issue. That's even major across, university education and every other aspect. And, that's welfare too. So there's a lot of different things that are going into this, this not having a budget. So really, he's going to have to try, maybe even get money from corporations. But mainly, I think it's tax reform that's going to help him out the most in the long run. I don't think he's going to be able to work with the state legislature that much. And sadly, that's,
It's politics.
It's politics, and, sometimes, people think it's as easy as saying it, and, people vote for
Right.
people just because they say they're going to do something, but a lot more goes into it.
And with the core, we had been talking a little bit earlier, he wants to change the core so it's private schools and public schools have similar systems, but then there's that crossover of government and private school, which we know is, not constitutional. So what is he trying to do there?
He's just trying to get a compromise. Go into a boardroom, say, here it is, do you want to do this? He can't really force them to do it. That's the problem. So he's going to have to finagle his way through it. But the problem is that when it's coming to parochial schools and different private schools, charter schools, the problem with that is that they're for profit. Whereas public schools are not really for profit, and doing that may take away from their enrollment.
Right.
And Philadelphia Archdiocese is already in a very bad spot with schools closing and decreasing enrollment. So my whole thing is, I don't think it's going to work out. I just don't, because they're just in such a bind already.
Yeah. And continuing on other goals he has, one thing he really wants to do is expand the Philadelphia port, which, how you mentioned earlier, is one of the biggest in the state or in the nation, and he wants to create more blue-collar jobs. And how else is he looking to expand? I mean, that's one big project, but I know he's looking to also reform the police, how the police work and things like that. What else is he trying to do?
I mean, in terms of reforming the police, he's just trying to make it so that police are more well-educated in doing I guess, violent means, if somebody's acting out. So more of mental health means, if somebody's, it's more psychology than anything, talking people out of things, and which police haven't been really well informed about in the past. When it comes to creating more jobs, he's trying to make it so that the economy is spread out, try to motivate companies to move their offices maybe to lesser, I guess, economized neighborhoods, lower income neighborhoods, so that more jobs are created there. But the big thing he's trying to do is, and this is very rare for a Democrat, is trying to decrease the corporate tax. And he's gotten a lot of negative, I guess, attention from city council on that. But I mean, that's pretty much the only way that I can see it happening, because if you decrease the tax, then obviously companies have more money to put towards employment. So that's a big part of it. Whether he'll be able to get it through city council, because it all goes through city council, I'm not sure. But he's very popular amongst the city council members, so I'm sure he'll be able to figure something out.
Well, hopefully he can figure it out. It seems like he's going to have a big task ahead of him for his first 4 years in office. So hopefully Jim Kinney can get it done. For LTV News, I'm Madison Elliott. Jim Kinney, you should come on LTV News. That is me personally asking you, so hopefully you do. For now, we're going to send it to commercial, and then we'll be back to Corey and Steve.
Welcome back to LTV News. Let's see what's happening around the world. After losing last year in 7 games to the San Francisco Giants, the Kansas City Royals bounced back to capture their first World Series title since 1985 with a 7-2 victory over the New York Mets. Kansas City defeated the Mets in a 12-inning long Game 5, the second game of the series to go into extra innings. Kansas City trailed 2-0 in the top of the 9th inning before recording their record 8th come-from-behind victory this postseason, following a burst of offense that was virtually non-existent all game long. The Royals knotted the game up at 2 before exploding in the 12th inning before 5 additional runs. All but sealing the deal. Congrats to the Royals on a great season.
Volkswagen is being accused of what is being called the diesel dupe. The Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, found that in September that VW cars being sold in the U.S. had a defeat device that allowed engines to detect when they were going to be tested, allowing them to improve results by changing the performance of the vehicle. Volkswagen has since admitted to cheating emission tests in the United States. The company has admitted that the roughly 11 million cars between being sold in the United States and in Europe have fallen victim to the diesel dupe. VW has also said that they have found some irregularities in tests that measure carbon dioxide emission levels that could potentially affect 800,000 cars in Europe alone. From these claims, the company has reported its first quarterly loss in 15 years, and the EPA has the power to fine Volkswagen up to $337,500 per vehicle that does not reach standards, resulting in a maximum fine of about $18 billion.
As of early last week, there is drama stirring in Pope Francis's home. According to the Vatican, a Monsignor employed by the Vatican and a woman who previously worked for the Holy See were arrested on charges of leaking confidential documents. The documents have been released to the authors of 2 new books addressing Vatican scandals. The Vatican said in a statement, the Spanish priest and Italian laywoman were members of a now terminated commission set up in 2013 by Pope Francis to review and improve the Vatican's financial structure. The arrest followed a months-long investigation by Vatican police and interrogation of the 2 alleged the weekend before. Despite the negative media spotlight, Pope Francis says, quote, "I want to tell you that this sad fact will certainly not distract me from my work of reform that is moving ahead with the help of my aides and support of all of you," end quote.
On Monday, November 2nd, President Barack Obama issued a new executive order that prevents federal agencies from making job applicants show their criminal record to employers. According to Obama, over 70 million Americans have some sort of criminal record, and that this order will help people find jobs, get housing, and an education, which could boost the economy. This order is part of a criminal justice reform effort referred to as the, quote, drop the box, end quote, initiative. This initiative will allow for prospective workers to have a chance, at least, to be considered for the job, rather than rejected for their criminal record.
Well, that just about does it for this episode. You can now follow us on our brand new Instagram account at LaSalle TV. Check out all the photos.
Until next time, for Madison, Steve, and the entire crew, I'm Corey Meredith. Thanks for watching LTV News, where the action never stops.